Guide and protection. Guide and protection. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mighty Ruler. And to refer just briefly again to that card that I mentioned at the beginning of the program, which suggested the program should be called Talk Flight, it did actually have something written in brackets after that, which was namely accept good reggae. So hopefully that listener from Berlin will enjoy tonight's program. And the fact that he mentions good reggae, I know that, for instance, records get mixed one way in Jamaica very often and then get remixed when they get released in Europe or outside of Jamaica. How has that affected you in the past? Have you come under that sort of problem of having to remix records to release them in Europe as opposed to bringing them out back home in Jamaica?
Well, the beauty anywhere me really put out record is the same feels I get, really, Anywhere in the world I do record, it's just the same feel. Because the same Prince Far I really,
That's something I've never really been able to understand anyway, that records should be remixed because whoever decides to remix them thinks that people over here can't appreciate the sounds as they're heard in Jamaica. I don't see why anyone should think that, why the music can't stand as it is in Jamaica. Why should anyone want to change it? I mean, what do you feel, for instance, about records that do get changed and made softer, for instance, for a European release?
Well, it's like, personally, I do my own mixing, really, and several records, really what I done, you understand? But leaving Jamaica and coming to England to remix a tune, depends upon we really have mixing it still, maybe. And him don't have the feels like really how the Jamaican studio operator would really feel, So it getting boring really,
How long did this album take you, for instance, to complete, from going into the studio and finally having it mixed up? I mean, did it take a long time? Did you spend a lot of time? Or sort of how do you break it down between recording and mixing? I mean, would you spend an awful lot of time mixing the record?
Yeah, well, it's like doing the record and it takes me a day to really lay the rhythms and take me a couple of hours really devising and things, because I know what I'm doing, so really it don't really take me no great times, The mixing take a more longer time than where I would take for real advice,
Okay, we've got another track now, which is again from the same album, Showcase in a Suitcase. This is called Lovers Rock. A recent development, if you like, certainly in terms of music that's been released in England. Suddenly it seemed everybody was doing Lovers Rock. Maybe you could tell me your own feelings about that kind of reggae music.
Well, most people feel like Rasta don't really love. Like, when I say love, it's like them just saying that Rasta don't really want a woman and Rasta don't make love to woman and thing. But Rasta have to make love to woman, anyone, you understand, even a worldwide scale, you understand? And the reason why I do that true Lovers Rock pertaining to my wife and thing, I really love my wife, so I just really do that song Lovers Rock, you know what I mean?
Okay, that's something I'd like to come back to in a minute, but we'll hear the song first of all.